So clearly I am not having a good time right now. I am in fact having a bad time. What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and trying to get something set up that's driving me a little crazy. So just give me a second here. I am currently trying to set up perhaps a Spyro 3 randomizer. And for some reason, I cannot get it operational. And it's making me feel a little upset inside. So give me a second here. Trying to get it set up here. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's your family doing? It's we're here. And that's what matters, right? At least I'm honest. Yes. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. So what's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and I am currently trying to get this to work, and for some reason it does not want to work. And when it doesn't want to work, it makes AG upset. So one second. Go back to here. Put that there. Almost ready. Sorry guys, sorry that I'm a little bit behind right now. No, when I say it doesn't work, I mean the randomizer doesn't want to make a new randomization, so I think I'm going to have to use an old randomization that I've used before, which kind of sucks because it kind of defeats the purpose, but I also haven't did a Spyro 3 randomizer in 2 years, almost 3, so I probably doesn't... Alright, open. What do you mean the audio was not found? Oh, that's why. Do I got audio? Yeah, I got audio all right. There we go. Just gonna make sure that that it worked real quick. Let me just make sure that it worked. Let me just make sure it's all good to go. We're gonna skip the cutscene. I just need to see if the randomizers worked, and then we can... I know we typically watch through these, but I'm already late and behind and upset. So hang on. The adventure begins. Question is did it work? Yep, it worked. Awesome. Okay. Okie dokie. So we got ourselves a red Spyro. We got ourselves a flame Spyro. And the randomizer. All right. So we are live. I gotta update the thingamabob, the thingamajig. Thingamagig. Title and description. Hold on, I just gotta set up the can I not change it midstream now? I used to be able to. Now I can, yes. Hold on. Okay. I gotta put this out there. 1 second. Oh, we got our first Streamlabs donation. I'll check it out in 1 second. One second, sorry guys. We got $1 from $1 from Nick Joseph. Thank you so much. Hey man, here you sir. I'm outraged and upset and very sorry you went through all that. I pray for you and your family. I feel your pain because I recently lost an aunt, so I feel your pain. Many others are here, and let's try to have some fun. We're gonna try and have some fun. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm just know that you're a good man. Don't deserve to suffer. Stay positive, strong. We're all here for you. Thank you again, Nick Joseph, for the $1 Streamlabs donation. Thank you so much. Again, I'm... Oh, come on. Why is this not working now? Why are you being... You know what? Fine. Twitter, you don't get to know that I'm live. Because it's being a butt. Hey, Charles E. How are you tonight, CG? And how's the missus and the kids? I feel like I am at the stage of grieving where I'm both... I don't know what I am. I do not know what I am right now. I just don't feel happy. I know that. But we're here. Gonna try to have some fun. Try to distract myself a little bit. Because I miss my dog. Plain and simple. I miss my dog. Because I miss my dog, I don't feel happy. And because I won't be getting my dog back, I'm extra not happy. But there's nothing I can do about that. And yeah, that's where I'm at. But we'll be okay. Give me a second here. Almost ready. All right, we should be good to go. So for those, wait, you lost your dog? So for those who want the quick, like, TLDR, essentially, I had a dog. He was a good boy. He was a very good boy. And, the original owners waffled on the ownership and were like, oh, maybe you can, we're just very loosey-goosey with it. And then 4 months later said, no, we're taking him back. And that was it. So, yeah. And that happened the other day. There's a lot more details and stuff in the minutia, but suffice to say, the police got involved. I almost got arrested and charged because I was like, no, that's my dog. And they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yes, it is. And yeah. It was not fun. Hey, we got Boris first. Which typically there is an egg there. I'm wondering how if that was just a bad randomize, or if
Hi, Spyro. To look left or right, press the L2 or R2 buttons.
Oh no, there was no misunderstanding. Charmed Cove.
So, you're the one in charge.
I'm not in the mood, Bianca. No, there was allegedly no misunderstanding. But it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter. He's gone. Hey, Hannah Vincent, how's it going? I gotta be honest, CJ, I would have thought you'd cancel tonight's stream just because of how upset you were, and still, but I give you credit for coming tonight. You're strong. Keep at it. Plus, fun, our favorite purple lad. Yeah, our favorite purple lad who's currently red. So, I lost my dog because the original owners were waffling on the ownership, and they were keeping everything in limbo for 4 months, and then they changed their mind and said, hey, not changed their mind, they said, actually, we want the dog back after me taking care of him for 4 months. And then I said, basically, well, no, because, you can't just hand a dog off for 4 months and waffle the language about whether or not it's our dog or not, and then go, play the language hokey pokey, which is, in, out, shake it all about, and then after 4 months say, actually, no, we're going to take him back. So,
yo, Spyro.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and I am very much not happy. But
To get the best.
I'm not promising I'm going to be able to go do a full stream tonight either. I'm just trying right now. Right now, I'm just trying my best.
Oh,
it'd be one thing if he lived like a long, happy life and then, he had to pass away. Then I'd be like, okay, I was with him with his final moments and that's it. But no, he's still alive, just ripped away from me.
This is a super...
Right? So... And there were things that were done that I felt were not exactly proper. I felt that there were things done that were not that I don't think were... that I was kind of strong-armed in certain aspects, and I didn't like that. And I got no anger or blame towards our mutual that arranged for me to get Denver. Absolutely no anger towards her whatsoever. No upsetty spaghettiness, but the other way, oh boy, howdy am I. But let's try to rip through this and try to not be as angry. Hopefully next week I'm going to have another Spyro video out. News about Double Black Capital seems to have gotten to a few other channels, which is fine, but we can always, you know, throw our take in there as well. Jakob donate, oh sorry, Nick Joseph donated another $1. I pray for 2026 to be better for you, not just Spyro related, but life in general. Thank you, I appreciate that. You know, life has been punching me in the mouth, and I would like to say, please stop. I like my teeth where they are and my mouth where it is. I don't like getting punched in the mouth over and over again.
I see an egg.
Yes, yes, Hunter, you see an egg. You are an egg. So I think the homeworld eggs are not randomized. I think the homeworld eggs are static, and I think they kind of have to be. But if I remember correctly, all the eggs in the levels were all randomized. I'm playing this on emulator. It's called Duck Station. Yeah, there's a story developing that I spoke about on our last Spyro Yap sesh that I'm going to sit down and kind of just develop and talk more about, and you know, details about it. And there's some interesting factors and certain intrigues and interests that I think that some people will find interesting. And oh my gosh, Hannah, thank you so much. Hannah just donated $100 to Super Chat. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you. Thank you. It's not much. What do you mean it's not much? It's a lot. That's a lot. But I hope this helps you feel better. Some people just suck. I'm so glad you're one of the good ones. I know you have the pupper the best months as possible. Maybe someday you can go to a local shelter and look for another pup without strings. I appreciate that. Hannah, thank you so much. I wish I had my Stream Deck set up. I don't have it set up, but I do really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $100 donation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. The problem is that Denver fit us like hand to glove. And that's why it was such a heartbreak, because it wasn't like, I've had dogs before where I didn't want to give them up, but I had to because it just wasn't working. It just was not working. And I was like, man, I had a dog named Charlie, really liked him, and then his attitude changed, and he refused to, he got angry, he got upset, and he wouldn't, like, he just refused. And at the time my mom was sick, and I was 14. So of course, you know, it was my dog, but you know, my family was taking care, and he was refusing. He would hold everything in to go to the bathroom inside, and he would, you know, growl and be upset, and it was just, it wasn't working anymore, and I had to give him up. And I was like, okay, at least I understand why I had to give him up. Charles, he donated $1. I love Duck Station. You can go in the settings, and there's an option called emulation. You can just mess with the FPS and make the game ridiculously quick or slow. It's so much fun and good for skipping the boot screen / cutscenes. I know too. I think Duck Station is so good. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the $1 and all the support. Again, Hannah, thank you so much. What was I gonna say now? I should have went and done Sheila's Alp first. See, not even thinking. But what I don't understand, what's got me frustrated, is that Denver was perfect for us. Like, I couldn't sit here and name 3 things that were downsides to him. Really. He was, he didn't shed. Like, where do I start? He didn't shed. First and foremost, he was the sweetest. He had the sweetest attitude. He was good with the kids. Very good with the kids. Very, very, very good with the kids. He didn't shed. He was happy. He was cute. He was adorable. He wasn't too big, but not too small. He was strong, but small. So, and also, too, when we go to church on Sundays, sometimes we're out of the house for 5 hours, and he just sit by the front door. And then we take him out, and he wouldn't have any accidents, and he was good. And he had an attitude that was funny. He was like, there was so much that went right with Denver. There was so much that was good. So good, right? And it's hard to adopt a dog and for it to be a perfect fit. It's hard. It's very hard. And oh, there's our first egg. It's very hard to get a dog that fits perfect like that through especially through adoption. And he did. And we were like, man, we got a unicorn here. And then it was, nope. Taken away. So yeah. That's what was like. It wasn't like we were trying to get him to work and it wasn't really working. We were trying to force it, and then they said, okay, we want him back, and we were him and Han about like, maybe we should give him back or whatnot. No, it was just. So the randomizer changes all egg locations. It changes the color of Spyro. It changes the text, and it changes the level name, and it changes the music. So right now you can hear the music is Crystal Islands, I believe. It changes the level names too. So you'll start seeing eggs randomly.
You'll have to flame him using the circle button.
So, is it Haunted Tomb? Is it Haunted Tomb? Sorry, I thought it was. Is it? Wait, no. Is it Haunted Tomb? I don't think. No, it's not Haunted Tomb. No, I believe it's Crystal Islands. I believe. Or. So, okay. So let's talk something unrelated to pets and me feeling sad, angry, depressed. So one of the things that, if you guys don't know, if it's kind of been, it's kind of breaking news. Netflix has just acquired Warner Brothers for the tune of I think it was $82.7 billion. And there's a lot of conflicts of interest there. And I'm going to be honest with you. I am shocked that the, what's it called? Yes, Joseph Brew, this broke today. Breaking news. Netflix has acquired Warner Brothers, which includes HBO, HBO Max, all that for $82.7 billion. Where's the FTC in all of this? Yeah, Caroline, exactly. Where's the FTC in all of this? Like, what are we doing? Why is the FTC as silent as a mouse for Netflix? Does Sparks look different? He does look a little bit different. I think he's like more like kind of off shade yellow, more gold than yellow. I don't understand. That includes HBO, yes. So now is HBO Max going to be retired, or is it going to stay as like a wing of Netflix where, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, what? Here's the thing, is that a lot of people are upset that Netflix got it. I'm also like, But Warner Brothers also wasn't good beforehand either. Like, by themselves, Warner Brothers was also not good. Right? So I'm like, remember everybody that was screaming and yelling about the Wile E. Coyote, the Acme movie that was being used as a tax write-off for David Zaslav. That is where things are just absolutely squirrely. So now you got, but you also got to remember that also includes video game studios, right? That also includes video game, because you got Warner Brother Games, right? The only thing that they did not buy, that they did say that they are not purchasing and that it's spinning off into its own company, is Discovery. Discovery is not included because Discovery is owned by Warner Brothers, but now Discovery is going to get spun off into its own thing.
Hi, Spyro.
So, and it isn't included in the purchase. So, so there's that. There's a lot that is conflicts of interest. There's a lot that I'm sitting here and I'm like, this doesn't seem like it should go through, and yet it is. Because now with the acquirement of Warner Brothers, I don't know how to feel.
Thanks for the...
Because a lot of, when you sit down and you look at some of Netflix's, like, Netflix-led created shows, they are good. They are good. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really bad. Like, of course, you think of the de facto Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things is fantastic, right? And, you know, Netflix has been able to get exclusive deals and licenses on shows that are really bloody good. But there's just so much garbage on Netflix now. There's just so much trash that it's just awful. Like, you can tell they're the people that made it are just phoning it in just for the checks, and that's it. So I'm like, what is going on?
Thank you for rescuing my town. As mayor?
So now I'm trying to think to myself, okay, because there's that also can change. How does it affect Crash? Well, the people that, you know, if it was, how does it affect Crash is because now if Crash is in development at Netflix, okay, they just acquired a huge swath of IP and studios and companies, right, that could now become eligible for the Crash cartoon, right? Because now you now have the creators of Looney Tunes, right? Oh, there's another egg. You now have Looney Tunes, right? And because you have Looney Tunes, you know, like, you might be able to really push a lot with that. And I'm just sitting here like, man, this could be good. Like, my question is going to be, okay, who's going to get laid off? Because incoming downsizing, like, it's going to happen. It is going to happen where there's going to be inevitable downsizing where there's going to be studios closed or studios merged and contracts ended, and it's going to not be good, and it's going to absolutely suck. And it's like, well, here we go. Take care, Hannah. Don't worry. I appreciate it. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Like, the thing is that right now it feels like pick your poison. That's what it feels like, is that it feels like this is pick your poison, right? David Zaslav is not a good fit for Warner Brothers. He's not a good fit, right? Not a good fit at all. But then you got Netflix, which is just like, okay, you know, like they're hit and miss. There's, you know, I mean, Netflix, I still think, is the #1 streamer. I still think it's the #1 streaming service in terms of video. Besides that, and Disney Plus. I don't know. I would like to see Disney Plus versus Netflix and see which one is the #1. But I would still assume it's going to be probably Netflix and then Disney Plus a strong second. Let me look it up.
Hey, that was great. And while you were boarding, I found this in a lizard burrow.
Oh, yay. Hold on a second. What's bigger in revenue? Disney Plus or Netflix? So what generates...
All right, if you can catch all the lizards without wiping out and before time runs out, I might...
Oh, geez, that is insane. Hold on. So in 2024, Netflix generated approximately $39 billion in streaming revenue compared to Disney's direct-to-consumer segment, including Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, which generated about $23.3 billion. To give you an idea, hang on a second. To give you an idea, okay? Netflix generated $39 billion. And Disney has Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, and that generated $23.3 billion. Think about that for a second, okay? Netflix, I'll read it again just to make sure that I am understanding that people are understanding. Okay? In terms of streaming-specific revenue, Netflix is bigger in revenue than Disney Plus. In 2024, Netflix generated approximately $39 billion in streaming revenue compared to Disney's direct-to-consumer segment, including Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, which generated about $23.3 billion. Right? In 2024. This isn't in total in 2024. Right? That's just 1 year. Right? 1 year. In 1 year, that's how much money they've generated in 2024. Hey, Mystic, how's it going? That is insane. And here's the thing, is that not just that, you ready for this? Netflix also, if you like anything outside of Disney for cartoons and animation, Netflix has got it clutch. I.e., for example, Arcane. Need I say more? Arcane. Which has generated so much revenue. Which has generated so much income, it's ridiculous. How many, I got a question for you. How many Netflix specific shows do you hear going physical? How many? Not too many. Arcane is one of them. Oh, come on. Did Stranger Things also get a physical? I wasn't sure if it did or not. So here's the thing. Netflix is the biggest streamer. And we just let them absorb Warner Brothers and HBO and HBO Max, which is also its own streaming. We just let them absorb that. And the FTC isn't saying boo? Huh?
Whoa, that was...
So the FTC fights and screams and shouts and throws a fit when Microsoft buys Activision. But when for a similar price, Netflix, the number one streamer, absorbs all of Warner Brothers and they say nothing.
You can go...
What's randomized? Egg locations are randomized. I think gem amounts are changed as well. But if you're going for 100%, it doesn't really change too much, I think. Text is changed. Spark's color is changed on each different like layers. And the music is randomized and the names of the levels are changed. How did they? Money! Why else does anybody do anything? Because money. That's it. Straight and simple. Because money. Because David Zaslav saw a sinking ship. He put a hole into his ship and then was like, this ship is sinking. It's like, yeah, no kidding, it's sinking. You caused the hole. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here is where I have a problem, okay? If you have been able to create and establish a company that is massive, that is absolutely gargantuan, where you're able to build a company from the ground up into something that has become part of our every single day culture, where there are memes about you, where it is you have invented something and you have created a service that enough people have loved, I understand why a CEO would get paid the amount of money that they get paid. Where I have a problem is that a CEO should get paid based on the performance of the company. If the company is sinking, you don't get paid. Listen, if you are the CEO of a gigantic company, okay? If you are a CEO of a gigantic company and you come up with ideas that are brilliant, that are amazing, that generates income, that is a good balance, you should be rewarded because you are currently trying to maintain people's jobs. You're trying to make sure that everyone's paid. You're trying to make sure that things don't go wrong, right? If you screw it up, that should come off of your skin. And the problem is that people, these CEOs are cutting costs, doing all these things, making everyone's lives worse, and then giving themselves a bigger payout. which doesn't make sense to me. It's like, no, a CEO should get paid based on the performance of the company. If the company is doing fantastic and everyone's keeping their jobs, everybody is, and you're creating things that everyone's happy with, and you're not doing, and you're not, literally being the worst person alive, make that money, because it's not easy. It isn't easy managing a company with thousands of employees to make sure that everyone keeps their jobs. But if you are failing, you don't get paid. Period. It's just like if I am my own businessman, okay? I operate a company. I operate a 3D printing thing. Guess what? If I don't do things right, I don't get paid. Period. That's how businesses work. If you don't do things right, you don't get paid. But the problem is that the CEO makes ridiculous, outlandish decisions or just lets incompetent people take over. And then when inevitably the steamroller comes, the people on the bottom get thrown underneath first. Even though it was the CEO's fault. Even though it was the CEO's harebrained decision. We're going to invest in this and make this. What, it failed? Well, you're all fired. No! It shouldn't be meat to the grinder. It should be, hey, I made a mistake. And because I made a mistake, I'm going to eat it. But guess what? If you make the right investment, if you're like, hey, we're going to invest into... We're going to be the company that makes K-pop Demon Hunters. We're going to do Arcane. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And it's a big banging success and you're getting... Make the money because you're doing it right. You're being successful. But if you fail, you don't get paid. Why is it that when you achieve things, you get paid? And if you fail, you still get paid? And then when you're on your way out the door, you grind half your company into dust... Pay yourself out a giant bonus and golden parachute yourself out. Huh? That's not right. And then you get some interim CEO that comes in. That's just like, well, this company's toast, so all we're going to do is just start selling things off. Oh, good. That helps morale so much. I don't get it. I don't understand. It should be that being a CEO of a company should be difficult. That's the point. That's why you get paid the big bucks, because you are managing... Ah, really? Because you are managing so many people. Because you're managing so many people, be paid accordingly. But if you're the leader, hey... and you make harebrained decisions, or you elect people who made harebrained decisions in your stead. Oh, come on. Here, let's go and just reset it. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking maybe I'm talking out of turn, but I do believe that, again, if you are doing something difficult, you should be paid for it. Right? But if you do something wrong and you're the leader and you are the CEO, then you got to eat it. Especially if it was somebody that you elected into power for it and they failed the company and failed you. Okay, well, now, well, sorry, Bill, you decided to invest into something that was really dumb. Yeah, I am shocked that, there was a Crash mascot suit at a Sony event now after, Xbox now owns them. So I'm kind of like, okay, that's strange. But hey. Oh, Disney is definitely in a very low valley right now. Like, man, they're drowning in it right now. I'm like, what are we doing here? What is happening? One of the last newer, like, Disney movies I really enjoyed was Elemental. I was like, oh, wow, this one's really good. I liked Elemental. I guess there was one recently. Was Zootopia 2 great? I don't know, man. I've been hearing people saying crazy things, and I'm like, I can't keep up anymore. I feel old now. I'm starting to understand people when the old people, I used to make fun of the people who are like, oh, what are those, the Pokemans? I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so old. Now I'm like, nah, I get it. I get it now. I get it. I go on Twitter and it's people screaming some of the most obscene things I've ever heard over Zootopia 2, both good and bad, and I'm like, I can't even tell if it's good or not. Like, I can't even tell. Can we just say this? Man. Entertainment's been sucking lately. Can we just be blunt? Like, when it comes to, like, TV, shows, movies, is it just me? Or am I crazy? Am I crazy? Am I just becoming, am I just, like, turning old? But has things recently just felt like garbage? Now, call me out if I'm, if I have my, sadness driven feelings because of my dog, but, like, or has it? There's good stuff, yes. But I feel like what is happening? Like, what is happening? I don't even tune into the Oscars anymore. I don't even care. Like, when they're like, oh, the Oscars are on, I'm like, I really could not care less. As someone who went to broadcasting for radio, television, and film, I just couldn't care less about the Oscars. It's like I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it anymore. It feels like after Lord of the Rings won out everything, they started to change it. And I noticed that there was something that really, really, really started to grind my gears. And I'll say this, I probably had that, that haze over my eyes of, recency bias. But when I loved Avatar, the James Cameron Avatar, the first one when it came out, I loved that movie, and I still like it. I still do. I still love that movie. That movie's great. And The Way of Water is great. I don't care. Everyone wants to make fun of the blue people. Sure, why not? But I really enjoyed it. I really liked Avatar, and I still do like Avatar, and I'm looking forward to Fire and Ash. Having said that, when the first Oscars came around and it won for VFX, and that was it. And I'm like, that's it? Nothing else. It won for nothing else. And that's when I clocked, for me, first of all, I was like, okay, what's going on here? What is going on? There's no way that a movie that blasted every single record imaginable gets one award. Okay, that's a little odd, but fine, right? And from that point, I started to look at the Oscars a lot more harshly, and a lot of the movies that they're just like, a lot of the movies that come out, I'm just like, I haven't even heard half of these movies. They're like, yeah, this movie won. I'm like, did it even get a theatrical run? Also, your film taste is extremely... What, because I like Avatar? Because I like Avatar? I think it's kind of painted with a broad stroke. Because I like Avatar? That's all that I've said. I've never said any other movie where I've sat here and said, oh, this movie should have won this. I just said I like Avatar. And felt that they kind of got snubbed at the Oscars. I don't know how that makes my my taste in films limited. I don't understand how that works. And again, I'm not saying Avatar had to win movie of the year. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the fact that one of the biggest blockbuster films of all time at that point, which had blown things out of the water, and it gets one award. Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense? Okay. It clearly shows that there's a disconnect between watcher and critic. There's clearly a disconnect, right? Because the whole point is that the critic is supposed to think critically about movies and supposed to be able to kind of help digest that to the regular viewer. But now it's like as if the critic is way so high up, or they think they're so way high up, that they're making movies for critics. It's critics making movies for critics and not for general audiences, and they're winning the awards. And then the general audience is left sitting there like, yeah, I guess the movie's good. What was that movie again? They're not making movies for income. They're making movies for... They're not making movies for income. They're making movies for critics. Go look at the, recently, Rotten Tomatoes has become more irrelevant than ever. Where they're like, oh, critics say this, and then it's like viewers are completely up and down. Like, it's a completely different, point of view. And it blows my mind because there are some films that make you sit and think. And they make you sit and they make you think and they inspire and they change. And then there are films that are popcorn flicks that are just like, you know what? I'm going to go into this and I'm just going to mentally check out and enjoy myself. I'm going to have a laugh. I'm going to watch things fight, or I'm going to watch something happen and enjoy myself. And there are different. It is different. And I enjoy that. And I like... And I feel like that there's a difference. And I feel like you got critics going in here and saying, oh, this movie's just a run-of-the-mill, blah, 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 it's sloppy, blah. And then general audience going, yeah, I like it. It's fun. It's interesting. And there should be reviewers that are labeled as, okay, these reviewers like the popcorn flicks. These reviewers like the arts and the deep, meaningful stuff. Right? And I don't get it. I don't get it. And if you want to see evidence of that, look at the decline in viewership of Oscars over the years. Every year it's a decline. It goes down every single year. Less. Right? I'm not saying popcorn flicks are... I'm not saying popcorn flicks are bad, and I'm not saying that there can't be bad popcorn flicks. I'm not. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I'm saying that there's serious movies that are like supposed to make you sit and think, and then there's popcorn flicks. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that all popcorn flicks are bad. Where are we getting this? And I'm not saying that all artistic movies are good. I'm saying that if you have somebody who sits there and enjoys artistic films and you put them into a popcorn flick, they're probably not going to like it. And likewise, if you have someone who's way into popcorn flicks and you put them into an artistic movie, they're probably not going to like it. And then you're going to have, and then just this critic, and it's like for example, Sonic 3. Great movie. I enjoyed it. I liked it. The critics hated it. Oh, it's only 185 gems. So, okay, so the amount of gems it takes to unlock the extra characters are also different and randomized. That's different.
I hope you...
Right? And then sometimes you get movies that are kind of like in the middle, but again, it's like... It frustrates me. It frustrates me to no end. Actually, I take that back. Sonic 3 reviewed fairly well. Where was the one that it was reviewed poorly? Okay, Sonic 2 only got a 69. Nice. And the first Sonic got a 64. The point is, versus the audience, which is like 94%. But the problem is that we are now getting movies that they come out and they're not good, and we can't tell if they're not good by the critics because they either say all of it is great or none of it is good, and you can't tell.
Find out what that nasty sorceress has done to my home while I was locked up.
That's another problem that I have is like I sit down and I hear critics. The critics loved it. That doesn't mean anything anymore. The critics hated it. That doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Like it doesn't make sense because now it's so mixed now that critics are becoming irrelevant. Yeah, then we got, let's do another one. Let's do an even more drastic one. This is what I mean. Stuff like this. Look, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Tomato meter. 74 reviewers gave it a 12%. 500 verified ratings gave it an 88%. This is what I'm talking about. There is clearly a disconnect here that doesn't make sense. Let's go back up here. Let's do another one. The Warcraft movie, 29% didn't like it, 29% tomato meter, 76% popcorn meter. What? Do you see what I mean? The disconnect that's happening. It doesn't make sense. There is such, and I'm giving two examples because if I sat down and started doing it, but let's do Avatar, for example. Let's see. I'm curious. Wow, pretty on par. What about The Way of Water? A bit different there between 96 and 76. Still good, but eh. The problem is that there is such a disconnect between regular viewers and critics to the point where it doesn't make sense anymore. Look at the Mario movie. Yeah, you're right. Let's look at the Mario movie. Now, granted, I'm not going to sit here and say the Mario movie was perfect. It had pacing issues. It had severe pacing issues, but I digress. Right? Now we might let me show you something else. Things that we thought were classics. How? 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 We sit here and we're like, this movie was a classic, and it was bombed on. It was bombed on back in the day. Then let's go the other way. Let's go the other way. What is happening? Does this make sense? No, it doesn't. The point that I'm trying to make is that a critic is a reviewer. They review and tell you, is this a movie that you should see? Yes or no. And the problem is that now we're getting critics who are enjoying certain kinds of films and films that are built for critics that general audiences say, hey, you know what? Let's go and check it out. The critics have said it's amazing. I'm going to go on record here and say this, and I'm going to get some people hot. I think one of the worst movie experiences I ever had, maybe not the, let me take that back. Let me back that up a little bit. It wasn't the worst movie experience I had. It was the highest expectations that I had because I heard nothing but amazing, crazy, fantastical things about it. And I went and I watched it, and it was the biggest, it was fine, ever, was the newest, the Robert Pattinson Batman. The Batman, I can't remember what the most recent. I thought that movie was so boring. I thought it was terrible. I did not like it. It was so boring. I was so bored. I sat there just staring at motorcycle scenes for an hour and a half. And I was hearing nothing but flaunting and amazing and crazy and good things and all of these things that are just like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest movie to have ever come out ever for all time. And the greatest Batman. I went and watched it and I was like, it's fine. It's kind of silly. It was fine. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, almost as good or better than The Dark Knight. And I'm like, what? Like, what on earth are we doing, man? This is so bloody boring. The only films that draw in general audience are Marvel films and Disney nostalgia slop. I would disagree. Like, yes, those are good marketing films, but there's a reason why people go and watch it. Why? There's a reason. Right? There's a reason why people like them. Let's ask the question. Why? Why do people like them? If they were so dumb, if they're so bad, if they're so distasteful, why do people go and watch them? If the Marvel movies were so terrible, if they were so bad, if they are so all these things, why are they so popular? Why was Avengers Endgame felt amazing to the most general audience? There's a reason why people enjoy it. People enjoy it. People like it. Listen, if I release a movie, Avengers, you release Avengers, if the movie was a wet fart, if the movie sucked, if it was terrible, if it had zero entertainment value, Age of Ultron would have bombed. But it didn't. It would have bombed. But it didn't. It did great. And then Avengers, was it not Endgame, it was the Infinity War. It did amazing. And then Endgame did even better. There's a reason why. There are reasons why. There's a reason why that people went back so many times to keep watching. If they went and saw the first one and thought it sucked, they wouldn't go see the second one. I don't think Mufasa... You're right. Listen. Okay. All right. I'm going to say something and I'm going to take a quick break because I'm getting heated here. Here's the thing. You cannot judge a film based on its first outing because that's purely marketing. Okay? It is pure marketing. When a movie comes out, a brand new IP, it's this. You cannot necessarily judge its full potential until you build a second one. Because if you market the first one and everyone goes and sees it and everyone goes collectively, wow, this sucked. The second one, doesn't matter how much you market it, isn't going to do as well because everybody that went and saw the first one is going to sit there and say, well, the first one sucked. Why should I go and see the second one? So when you sit there and say, oh, the Lion King remake. Yeah, people went and saw it because it's the Lion King. Everyone loves the Lion King, so they give it a chance. And then a lot of people walked away and said, that was rather distasteful. And because of that, Mufasa didn't do as well. Even though it was a brand new Lion King entry, original story, it didn't do as well because the first Lion King left a bad taste in their mouth. Your first movie is marketing. It is pure marketing. It's the second, third, fourth, and fifth movie that tells you whether something is successful or not. Yes, Mufasa was still successful, but not like the Lion King. Not even close. Because there's enough people. It's such a big, recognizable franchise. My point is that there needs to... The point that I'm trying to make is that critics need to be able to stop looking at movies as if every single movie is some artistic form of expression, and that sometimes the movie is just a popcorn flick, and that is okay. And to recognize it's a popcorn flick. Transformers, it's a popcorn flick. And then it got bad. But just because and Revenge of the Fallen, not good. Or, wait, which one? No, Dark of the Moon was the one I really didn't like. I think Revenge of the Fallen wasn't good. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that critics need to sit down and be able to be like, hey, this isn't a work of art, but it'll get a laugh out of you. It'll get a laugh out of you. You'll be able to mentally check out. You'll be able to have fun with it and be entertained. But the problem is that there's too many critics that are now purely entertained by the artisticness of it, and then give it a bad rating, and then the audience goes and watches it. They're like, what are the critics talking about? This movie's fun. Hi, buddy. Yeah? Oh, I was about to come to get a break anyway. Hey. Oh, jeez.
Did he pick you up? Oh my goodness. How dare he?
What about Minions? It's a kid's film. That's different.
What's wrong with Minions? What's happening?
We're talking about movies and how critics sit there and they'll hate a movie, and then you look at the audience loves it, and there's such a disconnect between critics and audience viewers. And my stance is that critics are so focused on being critics that they're not sitting there and realizing, hey, this is a movie that doesn't necessarily need to be an artistic expression. It's a popcorn flick.
Yeah. Say goodnight.
So, all right.
Say goodnight.
Good night, buddy.
We got to see Ewoks.
Oh, you saw Ewoks?
Yes.
Daddy, what's that?
Spyro. I'm playing as Sheila right now. Okay, I'm going to quickly clear the 3D printer, and I'm going to take a quick little break. Oh.
Come on. Let's come over here. Daniel, go upstairs and go to bed again. Yes, I'm going to go upstairs in a second too. He's eating with his head.
He's what?
Daniel is leading with his head.
Oh, don't you love that?
Oh, it's my favorite.
My favorite. Just make sure that this fits.
Is it another Pokemon?
No.
What is it?
I have it labeled lav mic. I
Aww.
put my lav mics in there so that when I go to use them, I know where they are.
I like it.
So, alright, I'll be right back. Be right back.
Work time.
Huh?
Work time.
Quick break, yeah. And we're back. Sorry that took a little longer than expected. And I'm also going to take a little extra time here in a second as well to do something else. Just give me a moment. I see a donation came through. Just give me a moment to read it. I promise I'll get to it. Just give me a second. Tomorrow's my niece's birthday and I'm printing something for her. Where that goes. Hopefully she doesn't see this. Be hilarious if this is how I found out my niece watches my streams. All right. Elena donated $50 to Super Chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elena. Thank you so much. $5 from Grandma. We're adding to the Denver Rescue Fund from last night. I appreciate that. Thank you. Listen, I'm going to be brutally honest, though. I don't know if there is a way we can get him back. I don't know. I don't know if there is a way I can get him back. I am going to be visiting. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting the police report, and then I'm going to be taking it to a lawyer with the police report in hand and all the text messages and the story, and explain the timeline and everything. Show up and just basically be like, hey, you know, is there anything here that can be used? Is there anything at all? And if the answer is no, then I know to hang it up, wrap it up, and know that it's over. But if they turn around and say, actually, there is something here, then maybe we can explore something. But I'm not going to get my own hopes up. I'm not going to get my own hopes up, but I am going to at least, at the very bare minimum, try. At the bare minimum. Send that. Okay, so that is started. Okay. Did the owners ever say in writing in a clear way that they consider the Denver being rehomed? Because I feel like from a legal standpoint that that may be where the issue is. That is where the legal issue is. That's 100% where the legal issue is, because the main issue is that they said the main issue, here's the problem, okay? The problem is that between me and my mutual friend who had the care of Denver, there was confusion made. She thought that she was supposed to be rehoming the animal, right? She thought that was the point, was the animal to be rehomed. She thought just she was told that the animal would either need to be rehomed or temporarily held onto until the original owners found a new home where they could accept the dog. And the problem was that this conversation was made over the phone. So because this was made over the phone, there is no legal way to actually track it. So that's issue numero one. Okay. Numero two is that when she reached out to them and said that the dog is going to be rehomed, there was no response or contact. There was no lack of saying, hey, don't rehome my dog. She would ask questions and essentially ghosted the mutual, right? And then took long in their decisions to talk with me so that they could waffle and buy time to be able to find a place to get Denver back to them instead of rightfully having to surrender him because they didn't have a place for him. So this was the conflict, right? The conflict was simple. The conflict was that she was not responding to messages, and there was no clear indication. And then when she knew that I had Denver, she still waffled on the language, saying stuff like, hey, can we do this? Oh, is it this? Can we come and visit him? Can we come and visit him? I don't want to take him away from you. It's sensitive, and I get it, and it's complicated, and blah, 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 right? And so the problem was that she waffled on language that is gray area, but she never explicitly said, yes, you can rehome Denver in writing. What was said in person is irrelevant, because she even said, according to our mutual, she dropped the dog off and said, he's yours, do with him as you please. That is what I was told as well. And so my friend had the conclusion that she was going to find someone to adopt this animal, and with the owner saying, here you go, he's all yours, do with him as you please. Okay, but it was said verbally, and there was no written contract of that. There was none of that, right? So now we got a problem. Now we got an issue of he said, she said, they said, that said, here, and it's all over the place, right? And it's messy and it's convoluted. That's why I was expecting that it was going to go to civil court, because when I was sitting there, I was going to say, okay, right? My thought was, okay, this is going to go to civil court. That's what I thought. And I was going to go and fight. And if they said, no, you have to give the dog back, then okay. I had my day in court. I made my case. I made my stance. I showed proof. I did what I did. I showed everything. The judge clearly sees it's complicated, but they turned around and said, no, you got to give the dog back. Then fine. I get it. I understand. I'll surrender him. It sucks, but I get it. But I didn't even have my day in court. I didn't even have a chance to fight. I didn't even have a chance to defend myself in front of a judge and declare my argument and to stand up for myself and to stand up for Denver. I didn't get that, and that is what I'm angry about. What I'm angry about is I didn't get a chance to stand before a judge and say, Judge, I feel this is why that this is what happened, and this, that. If they turn around and say, listen, Mr. CGE, I get it, but that doesn't work. You got to give the dog back. Fine. I will give him back today. With bells on. But I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance. And I was threatened to be arrested if I didn't comply. Instead, even though the police officer told me that it was a civil matter, and then all of a sudden it wasn't a civil matter. So now I'm mad. Because I didn't get a chance. I would, if they were like, hey, you got court in 2 weeks. Say less. Let's do it. Let's go. And if I'm wrong, no problem. Here you go. Here's the dog. But I never got that chance. I never got that opportunity. I was told that my friend was going to get arrested and I was going to get arrested. And again, if it was just me threatening arrest on me, I get a lawyer and defend myself and say, let's go. Let's roll through this. Let's fight through this. my mutual would get arrested and charged, and I would get arrested and charged. Both of us would. She can't afford a lawyer. She can't afford legal representation. She doesn't have her own business. If she wanted to get a job anywhere, it's on her record. If I wanted to go and do something beyond YouTube, it's on my record. Right? But I didn't get my day in court, even though I was told that it was a civil matter. And to get ready. The police officer told me, do your due diligence and get ready for us. They're most likely going to go to civil court. No problem. No problem, officer. I salute to you and your work. No problem, sir. I will collect and do as I need to do, and I will prepare for my day in court. And I didn't even get that. And that's what gets my blood boiling. Is that out of the blue, there's evidence that shows up that says, actually, we now think it's theft. You didn't think that before. And why are you contacting me through my mutual friend and having my mutual friend contact me to let me know that they're about to be arrested unless I get the dog back? Like, I'm being strong-armed into it so that there wouldn't be a court date. So now I'm not happy. Because if I got to go to court and at least fight and lost, at least I could say, hey, I put up a fight. I tried my best. I did everything I could. And I got to give the dog back. And you know what? The justice system has weighed the balances, and I lost. Okay, fine. Here you go. Here's your dog back. I don't agree with it, but we live in a society that's supposed to be civil, and the judge believes that it would be best for me to return the animal. Fine. I didn't even get that. And that's why I'm angry. That's why I'm sad. That's why I'm upset. Because I feel like there's fight on the table. But there isn't. I've been cut off from it. And now, if I go to fight it, best case scenario, they take the dog away again and put him into the SPCA until the court date. And how long will that take? A month, 2 months, 3 months? And now Denver is in a strange location for the 6th time? And if I lose, he then goes back to them and that's number 7, or comes back to me and I'm number 7 again, and now he's confused? It's not fair to the animal. It's not fair to the dog to rehome him again and again and again and again. I even told the original owner, it's not fair to the dog. I'm owner number 4. A dog shouldn't be bounced around this often. A dog should have a structure, should know that what to do, and knows its routines, and knows these things, because that's where a dog thrives on. A dog doesn't thrive on not knowing who its next owner is. A dog doesn't thrive in there. And I tried to explain that to the original owner, saying, hey, you had him. You gave him to another owner. They had to relinquish him back to you. And then you gave them to our mutual friend. And then to me. That's 4 households, 5 switches. Come on, man. That's not healthy. And then he's here for 4 months. 4 months. It's not even like he was here for like a week or 2. 4 months. And I explained that. I told them, it's not good for the dog. For the well-being of the animal, it's not good. But what do I know? So even if I go and fight for him, I'm going to be causing him more stress. What? If I go and fight for him, I'm just going to cause more issues for him.
Hey, Sheila.
And that's if I win. If I lose, then yeah, obviously it sucks that I lose. But not only that, it causes stress on the dog again. And it confuses him. And I'm livid about it. I'm livid. And I know I've been harping on this for 2 days. But it's what I'm having a hard time grasping about how everything went down. And I don't think it was fair. And I know, oh, well, and then it's like, oh, well, if you don't think it was fair, go make a complaint. Oh, yeah, like that's going to do anything. I'm going to file a complaint at the police department, and they're going to say, thanks, we're going to put it right into this machine here that's going to process it perfectly, and it's going to be a paper shredder. Controller making noises? Wait, what on earth is happening? You guys hear my controller? Wait a second. Why do I hear Astrobot? Wait. My PlayStation 5 has been on the whole time? Because I've been using my PS5 controller. So I guess my PS5 controller was connected to my PC and my PS5. That is hilarious. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why do I hear why do I hear Astro? What else has it done? I'm worried about that. I am worried about that. I'm worried about what else has happened. Me and the head of Toys for Bob, not the creator of Toys for Bob, the head of Toys for Bob, we did discuss about a potential Spyro 4 years ago. And he redirected the question back to me and asked me what game, if I were to pick a game to like have Spyro 4 be inspired by, what game would it be? And I chose Okami, and then he countered and saying that kind of sounds similar to like Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I'm gonna be real with you. If Spyro 4 came out and it was like Kena Bridge of Spirits, I think I would just collapse. But why did I say Okami? I said Okami because I think that one of the biggest strengths of Spyro Reignited was its environment. Its environment was something that I think was the constant thing that you felt when you Breeze Alp home. Sheila's Texas. The thing that you always felt when you were playing Spyro. So the reason why I picked Okami is because when you look back to Reignited, one of the things that everyone always thought as they were playing through was, what is the next level going to look like? And because Kena Bridge of Spirits is still one of the best, like, artistically best games that come out in the past, like, 10-15 years. Like, I'm sorry, it looks like a, like, if you guys haven't seen it, Kena Bridge of Spirits in game, like, this isn't like cinematic, this is like what it looks like in game, is one of, like, the best. One of, just in my opinion, this art style is timeless. This art style is going to look good a year from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It's still going to look good. And I genuinely think that Kena Bridge of Spirits is one of the best, one of the visually best games to come out, like, ever, in terms of, like, timeless art style. Give me 1 second. I got my headphones still on. Don't. I just need to quickly grab something off the 3D printer that I just started. The closer and closer we get to the Game Awards, the less I think that we're going to see Spyro. As much as I would love and hope that Spyro would be there, trust me, it would be nothing but a benefit for me on a personal and professional basis for it to be at the Game Awards. I want to be at the Game Awards so bad. But I got a feeling it won't be. There we go. Okay, so here, just something real quick that I made. This isn't the gift I was talking about, but it's something I did make. So I have some lav mics that I got, and it didn't come with a case. So what I did was I found a case online, a 3D printable case that I then customized that says lav mic, and then you can take these out. These little lav microphones that I'll be able to use, like, if I go to interview someone on the road. Hopefully they all fit nicely. I got one more little attachment to go in there. Where is it? One small attachment. Where are you? Where are you? Where is the little attachment thingy? I had you here. There you are. Yoink. And then we got the little connector here. We put that in there. And then I grab the charging cable that came with it. Pack it up, roll it up, stick it in like so. And then close it. And there we go. Yes, it's soup. There we go. Now my lav mics have a little case. And now I can take this with me, and wherever it's like, oh, I got to do an interview. Pop this open. And this adapter literally hooks up into my phone so that I can record an interview on my phone. On the go. So now when I go to PAX or whatever, and I encounter someone that I want to have an interview with, I can quickly just do that. Yes, espresso depresso soup. That was made because sadness. We're starting to notice like funny sad memories. So like with Denver, you know, there was something that he would always do. I did do a tutorial about it at one point, Murder Venom, but I don't think I'm going to be doing a full-blown specific like thing on it because, you know, Reignited is kind of older now and not a lot of people, but there is a lot of tutorials online.
The scary sorceress.
And then once you learn how to do one, you can do it.
This place isn't safe for small dragons and pussycats.
Thanks, but I think we can look after ourselves.
Try looking after this.
Come back when you finish witch school, okay?
Say, is it just me, or is she kind of cute when she's angry?
All right. I'm making a 16-beat soup tomorrow. That's awesome. So, Nordic Peak. So, here's a big thing. Yeah, I can go finish Sunny Villa. So here's the thing. I'm going to probably be wrapping the stream up, and I'm going to go do Sunny Villa, and then I'm going to wrap the stream up because, again, I'm feeling very... we'll say emotional. Still very much not happy. So... I'm going to do Sheila's area, and then I'm going to go to Q&R. Toasty Lagoon, yes, it's a randomizer. I know I was late starting because I was literally just sitting here like, what am I going to play? I don't know what I'm going to play. Should I even play? Should I even stream? And I was like, no. Because my thing is, if I feel bad about something, I will sit there and do nothing, and I have to literally force myself into doing things for me to feel better, because otherwise it's sit stationary and do nothing.
Alas.
So I kind of want to I've essentially feel very drained. I feel very drained. But got some good news next Thursday. So actually, technically, we might be streaming 3 times next week. And one might be super duper late too. So if you guys don't know, I have started a Pokemon channel. Now, I haven't advertised it on the main channel. I've only talked about it really on the live stream with you guys, because it's my everyone here is my more dedicated viewers. So I started a Pokemon channel that essentially, because I've always loved Pokemon. When I was a kid, I loved Pokemon, I loved Spyro, I loved a whole bunch of stuff, and Pokemon has always been near and dear to my heart, and I don't think Pokemon really fits on this channel. So I do have a second channel. It's called The Shiny Canuck, that is specifically for Pokemon content. If you do not want to watch Pokemon content, please don't go subscribe to it. I know it sounds weird for me to say, but if you don't want to watch it, please don't go subscribe, because it's also part of an experiment for a third channel that is currently in development that is going to be doing a tutorial about how to grow your gaming channel. Because if I can do it twice, you know, if you can do it once, that's luck. You know, one could say, well, that's luck. If you can do it twice, well, you know, I think that's pretty, I think that's pretty good. Making one channel as a full-time job and doing it relatively successfully, I think is overall a pretty good thing. Doing it twice should probably mean that I know what I'm doing. So if you don't watch Pokemon, if you are uninterested in Pokemon, please don't go and subscribe. If you like Pokemon and you genuinely are interested in watching the content over there, then do go subscribe. But there is a chance that when the new DLC comes out for Pokemon, which comes out next week, technically like Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, depending on when I gotta see when the DLC technically drops. If it drops midnight, right? Because sometimes I might be streaming over there for the first time, and it would be, well, super late. So if anybody is interested, it would be Tuesday night, very late Tuesday, early Wednesday, you know, crack.
What? Marco sent you here?
Oh, the big thing that I do on that channel is shiny hunting. I love shiny hunting. I adore it. But of course, I'm also doing just general guides and stuff, and I'm still making my way, still figuring my way through and learning as to the content that I want to make and all the stuff in between. Because no, I don't really have an interest in Pokemon Go. I play it, but I don't have an interest in making content about it. I play it once in a while to play with friends, and you know, it's funny to take over a gym and be like, ha ha, but that's about it. I don't take it seriously. Some people very much do take it seriously. I am not one of them. So, but yes, and it's nice to have additional revenue as well. It's very nice to have additional revenue. It's not much so far because it just got monetized. I think it's made so far like $45, which, hey, I'm not going to snuff at $45, but you know, I'm happy about that, because I remember when I made my first $13 on YouTube on with this channel. I remember when I made $13 and how impressed I was with myself for $13. Now, you know, monetized in essentially 2 videos, and fully raring and now making income on it, it's a blessing, right? And if I need an outlet for other things, right? So to be able to have an outlet for Pokemon as well feels nice, you know? It feels nice to be able to be like, oh, I really enjoy this, and I can talk about this over here, and I don't need to be super hardcore about it. I can take breaks from it because it's not my main channel. I can come back to it at, you know, future points, and if it dies, okay, that's fine, but, you know, my primary focus is Canadian Guy A, but it's, you know, if that channel blows up too and it starts earning a bunch of income, right, where, you know, it's doing well, then that's just good, and then I can turn around and I can continue to expand. I'm looking for a 2-gem now. My favorite Pokemon game was Pokemon Legends Arceus. I loved that game. That game was one of my favorite Pokemon games.
Let me catch.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Back in the day, I liked Diamond and Pearl. That one was really good too. I played a lot of Diamond and Pearl. I liked X and Y. I liked Sword and Shield too. I really liked Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield got, you know, joked on it a lot, but I enjoyed Sword and Shield. I liked Scarlet and Violet. I liked it a lot more post Switch 2 update. The Switch 2 update made the game a lot more palpable, suffice to say. It definitely had its issues, still does, but I enjoyed it. But I loved Legends Arceus. I loved Legends Arceus. It truly, when I was playing Legends Arceus, I couldn't put it down. I could not put it down. I loved it. I loved it so much. It was so much fun. I think the one that I really didn't enjoy was Black and White. That was the generation I vividly remember not enjoying very much. Black and White was just not my cup of tea. And then they came out with Black and White 2, which was like, oh, yay, 2 games of that, and I don't like it. Yeah, me too. I wish Legends Arceus got a Switch 2 update. That would have been awesome. I would have thoroughly played through that. I've been itching to get back into Legends Arceus, especially after Legends ZA, which Legends ZA is...
You can go for the course.
Legends ZA is complicated, and I don't think Legends ZA is such, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's either really good or it's really bad. No, I think it's a lot more complicated than that. And I think if you look at it through a lens of there's another mainline Pokemon game coming, and this was seen as like the playground to see if things would work on a smaller scale, then I see it as pretty good. There's a lot of outspoken hate for Legends ZA, but low-key, a lot of people are still playing it. Like, a lot of people are still playing a lot of Legends ZA still. And so, definitely overhated, but definitely not highly experimental. There it is. And that's the biggest issue with Legends ZA. It's very experimental, and when you look at it through the lens of they played it safe to make sure that they didn't screw it up, when you look at it through that lens, it kind of makes sense. I'm excited to see what the DLC adds. I'm hoping because for the first time we're exceeding level 100, which I'm excited for because I always like end game Pokemon content, because, you know, like the 7-star Terra raids were really cool. The Gigantamax battles were really awesome. I really enjoyed those. So yeah. All right, we're gonna switch over to Q&R real quick because I am feeling gassed and tired. So. But yeah. ZA, but after Scarlet and Violet, I said I wouldn't play another Pokemon game until the quality improves, and I'm sticking to that. And that's fine. I understand that. So, the biggest thing... Here's the thing. Scarlet and Violet on Switch 2 is a lot better. I will give it that. Pokemon has me in its grips. It has me wrapped up in its tight grips. So tight that I don't know what it is about Pokemon and why it has such a grip on me. Even when it isn't at its best, I still can't help but love it. At least the core Pokemon games. I wasn't crazy about Mystery Dungeon. I wasn't crazy about... I liked Pokemon Snap. I thought that was really cool. I think Pokemon is at its strongest when it treats Pokemon like it treats almost like National Geographic, how National Geographic treats animals. And that's why I thought Legends Arceus was one of the best games. I think it was written really well, and I thought it was put together when it comes to the story. Let me break it down for those who'd never played Legends Arceus. So let me quickly sort this out. In Pokemon lore, essentially the creator of the universe was Arceus, okay? And it helped create the legendary Pokemon and stuff that garnered over the different systems that was created. Palkia was of space and Dialga was of time, and they are not supposed to fight. So here is where I was blown away, was the writing in Legends Arceus is you get sent back in time to the Hisui region, which is ancient Sinnoh. And one of the plots for the game is that there are two clans, the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan, which is the Dialga Clan and the Palkia Clan. You think, oh, Dialga is fighting against Palkia, and because of that, they're fighting. No, it's more complex than that. The Diamond Clan sees Dialga and says, that's Arceus, the creator of the universe. And then the Pearl Clan looks at Palkia and says, no, that's Arceus, the creator of the universe. And they're both dead set on being right about their belief. And the funny thing is that they're both wrong, but also both not entirely... They're not wrong, but they're not right either. And it's like, okay, but Dialga and Palkia work with Arceus. And it's like, and they're tools that Arceus uses. So in a way, yes, Dialga could be seen as Arceus, and yes, Palkia could be seen as Arceus, and they go to, and they fight, and you're stuck in the middle of that war, and nobody's bad in that sense, and nobody's good in that sense. And then there's more stuff where there's clearly bad guys that come out, or clearly good guys that come out, and it is really, really interesting, where it's like they're looking at the same coin at two different sides and claiming that they're both right. And and it's interesting. And that's why I really liked it, because it was an interesting dynamic, because it was like, okay, you're working with the Diamond Clan, and you're working with the Pearl Clan, and they have their stories, and they have their why they believe in what they believe, and their deep respect. And then over here, and then when you were doing the Pokedex entries, it was like, hey, by the way, these Pokemon have been known to literally lick the bones off of your body, so if I were you, don't perish near them. And it treated like, hey, this alpha Pokemon can wreck your stuff. And it will. It will chase you down, hunt you down, and destroy you. And what's cool is that in the Hisui region, or in the past, they treated Pokemon as cautionary, where it's like, hey, Pokemon are cool, but they're dangerous. And that's what I think Pokemon should be treated like, is that, yes, Pokemon are cool, but they also can tear your bones off, right? Like, if you make a Garchomp angry, that's a bad idea. And the problem is that Legend ZA takes a lot of that danger out and kind of neuters it and makes it, kind of back to Pokemon are our friends, and Pokemon... And that's where I really enjoy Pokemon. That's where I really enjoy it. And the thing is that when you treat Pokemon as cautionary, where it's like, they're powerful beings, be careful. And then the next game is friendship is magic. And I'm like, no, if you have a Pokemon that has scythes for claws to slice people to death, it should let you know, by the by, there have been trainers that perished trying to train this Pokemon because it tore them in half. Like, that should be a thing. And that's where I think Pokemon should push it to E10 teen, because I think, not because, oh, it needs blood and gore, but no, it needs to treat Pokemon where it's like, you have the Pokemon that are domesticated, that are commonly domesticated. You have the people that, oh, I have a Pikachu. Oh, I have a this. Oh, I have a that. But then the real strong trainers have the Garchomps. They have the this. And everyone is nervous. And it's almost like the Lion Tamer, when you're at this, if you see, the Lion Tamer is able to command the lion and control it. And the lion could kill the trainer at any point. But because he's put his will over it, and he's trained it so well, and everyone is terrified, no one would dare try to do the same thing that Lion Tamer could. And you look at that trainer in awe, like, oh my gosh, look at how well they handle that animal. And then when you kind of put that in the perspective of Pokemon, that is where it gets really interesting, where you can have a Garchomp, you can have a, and then it could be like, hey, the reason why you only get to Dragonair and it's not evolving to a Dragonite is because you can't handle a Dragonite, because if you tried to handle the Dragonair knows that, and if it turned to Dragonite, you couldn't handle it, or whatever in between, right? And that's where I think that is where Pokemon thrives, is cautionary. That there are Pokemon that are like Pidgeys, and they're day to day. But then there are Pokemon, they're like, hey, this thing is dangerous, and you gotta pay attention. Otherwise, you're gonna be in trouble, and you have to be able to train it well. I would love a mechanic in the future for Pokemon where the friendship mechanic actually becomes more enticing, because it's like, oh yeah, the friendship mechanic is this invisible meter where if you spend more time with Pokemon, it becomes more friendly with you. I think it would be really, really, really cool if they turned around, they're like, hey, there are Pokemon that are harder to handle. And if you have a Garchomp on your team, if you catch a wild Garchomp and you throw it into battle immediately, it's not going to listen to you. and it's going to do its own thing, and it's going to cause problems, and it might be a move that's good, and you have to spend time, and each Pokemon has, like, basically domesticated Pokemon. So, you caught a Pikachu, you throw it out, it's going to listen to you immediately, and it's going to warm up to you quick, right? You caught a Furfrou, it's going to listen to you, it's going to be domesticated, it's already a domesticated Pokemon, it's going to be quick. And then you're going to have, this Pokemon's a little bit more exotic, and yes, it can be handled, but it takes some time. And then you have, okay, this Pokemon is a big, scary creature that, yes, you may have caught it, but it doesn't necessarily respect or like you yet, and it's going to take more time for it to listen to you. And I think that a mechanic like that would be really interesting, because it now makes more sense. Because, I caught a Garchomp. Now it listens to me and does everything I ask it. No, there should be some form of difficulty there to raise the Pokemon, to make it a little harder and make people think, maybe I need to. And also, what I think would be really cool is that you could catch a Pokemon that is wild and exotic and really early in the game, and it will refuse to listen to you until you reach a certain point of the game where they can teach you how to handle these Pokemon, and then you can start building a friendship with them. And I think that is something that would be really interesting and really intriguing, right? I think that would be a really fun mechanic. And I wish Pokemon would lean more into certain Pokemon are very dangerous, and you have to have a certain force of will to be able to handle them, right? And I think basically Charizard and Ash's relationship in the anime, similar to that. Yes, Charizard does not respect Ash, right? And it takes him going away for Charizard, but for it to be in person. And actually more like the first episodes of Pokemon with Pikachu. Pikachu did not like Ash. He didn't like Ash. He didn't listen. He refused to do anything. It took Ash saving Pikachu's life in order for him to understand and realize and start to like Ash. And then Ash had a hard time communicating with Pikachu, and Pikachu is basically doing charades, but by the end of the season, he knows what Pikachu's talking about, and your Pokemon can do that too. You could be interacting with it, and it's like, it seems hungry, maybe, and you try to give it food, and it doesn't want food. You're like, okay, what's wrong with it? And then you're like, it wants to play, actually. And then as you get to know your Pokemon better, you can have a conversation with it, and you will know, Garchomp seems like it wants to have a bath, and then you can give it a bath and it's happy, right? And I think that having something like that, and then it also makes sense for the Pokemon to like, it listened to you, right? Because also you get friendship bonuses in the game where it's just like, it took a critical hit, but it held on just so that it wouldn't see you be upset, or it shook off, the confusion early because of its friendship and blah, 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 blah. And I think that those benefits would be something that could be tacked on later on. That's super cool. And I like that idea. I think it's a cool idea. Right? I think it's an interesting idea. And you can also play with like certain moves. Like, you got frustration, and frustration is the more angry the Pokemon is at you, the more damage it does. And then there's return, which is the more it loves you, the more damage it does. So there could be some play with that. I just think that Pokemon being dangerous is fun. And, it takes time and patience for you to train the really hard ones. Not just, hey, I caught it, now I can just use it. Right? It makes it so that, it's not so just, catch, jam proteins into it and murder, right? Should be a little bit more complex than that. A few more minutes, I'm going to be signing off. So If you guys got any questions or anything you want to ask, the time is now. I kind of wish for another Eevee evolution. I'm shocked that they haven't done a dragon one yet. A dragon evolution. Like, I feel like it's right there. I feel like it's kind of like, it's literally there. I feel like there are so many amazing and cool, like, dragon types or, dragon looks that you could do with it. You could literally, it could be a riff of like off of Vaporeon. You could do a riff off of, I just think that there being a dragon Eevee would be really cool, right? A dragon Eevee would be pretty cool. I don't think you need a steel Eevee. Are there any Eevees that haven't been evolved yet by... They could do a kind of like a grand Eevee, which is like, it's just a bigger Eevee, and it holds on to its normal typing and kind of keeps its, like, it could be you could use it as a special attacker or attacker. It's kind of like a mixed stats. You could do that. In a whole new game, would you keep the relationships to other characters or not? Blink being the professor's nephew, for example. I think for like distant characters, I would do like subtle callbacks. Like, I wouldn't reintroduce Blink, but I would do something like the professor be like, oh, make sure you bring that back. My nephew Blink got me that. Kind of, 'cause there's no ghost type yet. There isn't no ghost type, and you could go really hard and really sad with that one, where it's like a neglected Eevee. That would be, ooh. I don't think, I think I would do it case by case, certain characters having relationships and other characters not. I think it would just literally be, case by case. Is the character relationship important enough to be included? If not, then just, rewrite it. But if it's important or a part of the character, then find a way to keep it. If you could describe each of your mods with one word, what would you use? Oh, you put me on the spot here, Star. I would say okay. Can I do it half funny? Because everybody is helpful, but everyone is helpful in a different way. So I'm going to make it half funny, but and I'll explain. I'm going to start with, because every single blanket statement, every single one of my moderators are amazing. We have an elite crew. They have been helping maintain the channel for years now. We haven't had, any crazy incidents. I have a solid crew that backs me, and I am thrilled. I am thrilled and happy to have every single one of them on my team. So let's start with Newt. But I'm going to keep it slightly funny, not offensive, but slightly funny. So I'm going to start with Newt. I'm going to go with Nocturnal. Now, you might be wondering, why would I say that? Newt and I's time zones are completely opposite, and yet somehow I can always depend on Newt for help. I'm like, hey, who could hop into a stream and moderate it? It could be 4 a.m. my time or noon. And Newt's like, I'm here, I can do it. And I'm like, how? How? How are you always up? How are you always awake? You're always awake and you're always ready to help. How are you awake? Whenever I'm like, it's like every time I wake up and until I go to bed, if I need Newt's help, I'm awake. How? So let's start there. Next, I'm going to go with Conky. And it's going to be chaotically even. Conky is great and will needs to make sure that everything is nice and set. And whenever something's not right, Conky's there to fix it. Conky's like, ah! Ah! No, fixing it. Next up is, let's go with Shooter. Sand. That's all I'm going to comment on. And people who don't understand it, there's a reason why. And then, of course, we got Jay. I don't want to say meaty bionicle. I'm going to call... One word I'll call Jay will be like comrade, because for some reason it always comes across that like me and Jay like the same things. It's like, oh, I like Spyro. Oh, I like Spyro. Oh, I like Warcraft. Oh, I like Warcraft. And it's just like, I raid. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's kind of just like, it's like a lot of our interests are surprisingly aligned. And it's just like, oh yeah, I play this. And she's like, oh my gosh, I also play that. And it's always like shocking. So it's like, oh, do you play Pokemon? I like Pokemon too. And I'm like, geez, okay. Green cheese. And then you have Star. And I feel like Star really is like, that's the best way to describe Star, but we'll go with Sunshiny. Whenever Star will always see the happiest ways of seeing things in the most positive way. And it could literally be in the depths of poop. And Star will find a way to be like, well, at least it doesn't, she will find something positive to keep everyone going. Be like, well, we might all be at 6 feet of poop, but at least it's not 7 feet. So at least it's not 7 feet. So Star will always find something amazingly positive. And then we have Caroline. And Caroline has what would I describe Caroline? Because Caroline is like, now stay with me for a second. Okay. Here we go. Caroline really is like the mama hen. But this mama hen has a hammer. One side of the hammer is happy, joyous. It's like a pillow. And play fighting. It's fun. The other side is made of granite. Okay. And will swing it into the teeth of people and into the next universe with without any no stoppage, just absolute kind sweetness, and then someone who crosses the line, crosses someone that she loves, that sweetness turns into granite force into next week. And I love and appreciate that. There's a slight bit of fear, but I love and appreciate that. Just only a little fear. And I always say a little fear is good. A little fear is always good. And of course, we have Madam Secretary. We have Katie. Katie is... To describe Katie... There's a lot of really good words, and I'm trying to think of one. Katie is one of the most self-sacrificing friends that I know. She is the type of person that you can rely on, in that if you're having a problem, she wants to help you, right? And she will start drafting ideas on how to help and then how to proceed to it. And she is very caring in that sense, and that she will sacrifice a lot to help others, to help those that she loves. And she will sacrifice a lot to do that. And there's a reason why that she holds such a high amount of love and respect for me. Not that none of my other moderators don't have that, but Katie, I believe, is has been the moderator for the long, besides my wife, of course, being a moderator, but Katie has been a moderator for a long time, and she handles, while she's not in streams, she handles a lot of things on the back end of the channel that a lot of you guys don't know about, that a lot of people don't know about. That, hey, when we're out at PAX, she will help track down people for interviews. She will contact people. She will hand out cards, and she helps out with the channel in that way. So while she may not moderate on streams as much as she did before, she does a different task, which is a lot more of, she'll check in and say, like, hey, I got this idea that we could try, or hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. So Katie has a different type of moderator role, but just as important as everybody else as well. Even though we may not see Katie as often in terms of, like, on stream, she is helping in other ways as well. And of course, we also got Shiro, where Shiro is my Discord chaotic minion, who will, I don't know, he does magic with the Discord. It's like whenever we ask Shiro once, well, hey, can you fix this? And it's like magic happens and the Discord gets improved. And I don't understand it. I don't grasp it. I don't get it. But he does magic with the Discord as well. So whenever there's a fundamental problem, we just say, hey, Shiro, can you help us? And then tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, it's all fixed. So we summon him to help, and he eats all our drywall. We trade. So, all right, guys. That is all the time that I have for tonight. And next week is going to be a big week. Big week. Next week, it's going to be the Game Awards on Thursday. And then, actually, we got a special stream next Friday. Next Friday, we're going to be playing Split Fiction. And some of you might be saying, oh, what's going on with that? So if you guys don't know, December 12th is going to be my wife's birthday. And so she approached me today and asked, hey, for my birthday, because my birthday lands on a stream day, can we play Split Fiction together? And I said, absolutely, we can do that. So we're going to play Split Fiction together because it's going to be her birthday. So we're going to do that. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So, all right, guys, that is all the time I have for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video and our live stream. Time for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.